These days are running slow. Sunsets and shores far from home. Headlights are shining on the sea. No place on earth I'd rather be. And I could try to just follow the swell, but I'll never find this anywhere else.
So this week we're at Bygone Times in Chorley.
Go for an investigate and explore.
Let's go and explore. So we'll take you along with us while we go for some vintage and antique shopping. Adam's got a couple of things in mind that he wants to look for, so let's spin back round and take a look. We're going the wrong way. Come on.
Come on then, let's go for an explore.
Adam, there's lots of tea sets here that would have been fine for Mum's birthday. Finally found the key to the secret door in the cottage. They're quite cool. Imagine them hanging up on the wall in the cottage.
Yeah?
Nice little decorative piece, isn't it?
Mm. What have you found?
A Clydesdale horse. Yes?
I told you, you're allowed one thing, I'm allowed another.
This will go perfect with my Clydesdale painting.
That's different. There's a whole family of them. They're everywhere. They're following you.
For my office. Taken away, have a laptop on there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't you know?
No.
It's a plant dibber.
Ah.
A really old one. So you put that on in the ground,
Mhm.
push down,
Yeah.
make a hole for your plant, take it out, put the plant in the hole.
Ah, very good. Trust you to notice that, you gardening fanatic. It's an old shop till. did you enjoy your Bygone Times shopping?
I did. Got some proper random stuff.
You've got quite an eclectic mix of stuff, haven't you? What do you think of that place, though?
It's amazing.
It is amazing,
If
yeah.
you're in this area or down, was it Chorley?
Chorley, yeah.
Have a look for Bygone Times. Plenty of time to go around because it is enormous, but there's just loads of stuff.
The place is massive. It's like a rabbit warren inside. There's all these different rooms and different levels, and just when you think you're finished, you turn the corner and then there's stairs going down to a basement with a whole load more of antiques and vintage
Well, that took us
curiosities.
4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours. Wow. Didn't think we'd been there that
And
long.
we've seen just about all of it.
There is a cafe there, so we had a drink as well because we were dying of thirst by the time we'd finished.
Yeah.
But apologies for not having much sound while we were in there. They had music playing in the background, and for copyright reasons, we can't play the music on YouTube, so I had to cut a lot of the sound out. But we'll show you some of the curiosities when we get back. Now we're off to the pub, the original Farmer's Arms, for some pub grub, hopefully, before we head back up the road to Scotland. So we'll see you in a bit.
See you. So our friends from Blueskysea have sent us this 8-inch handheld chainsaw to demonstrate and see what we think of it. So let's take a look. So this is the 8-inch brushless battery handheld chainsaw. Comes with 2 batteries, which is really handy. So you can be using one and then have the other one on charge, so you're not going to run out of power when you're trying to do something. It's got comes with a useful chain tightener just at the side, so you can tighten the chain to make it tighter if it becomes loose. So we're going to make sure we wear safety goggles, the gloves which are being supplied with it, but before you actually start using it, we need to fill up the chain oil chamber to make sure the chain is lubricated when you use it. So this is a little dial which tightens the chain blade. You just pull this up, unlock it, and then you can move this outer dial, which will then, if your blade's loose like this, it just tightens it up. You just clip it, put it in the lock position again. But you want the blade so you can still have it a bit, but not too much. So we'll go and give this a test now on some thinner branches and see how we get on with it. But you can actually get in here now.
Certainly thinned it down a bit, hasn't it?
Well, it needed doing. So we'll just keep trimming out all the dead bits of branches so we can then just have the live stuff, and then we'll look at how we're going to shape and reduce the height of it slightly.
So Adam, what do you think of it?
So first impressions, it seems really good. It's really lightweight in your hand. It's got a good protector here for your hand for when you're cutting. You can be very precise when you're cutting as well to get your angles right. Yeah, I like it. It's good. The self-tightening thing, where you can just pop it off and tighten your chain when you need to, that's really useful. You can see how much oil you used at the side. I've done that pile there so far and it's hardly used any oil. The quality is really good, and it makes really light, easy work of otherwise sort of a bit more of a task.
Good stuff. It does seem like you're cutting through those branches like butter,
Yeah.
a hot knife through butter, mind. This powerful and easy to use compact 8-inch chainsaw has a brushless motor and dual batteries for strong, reliable cutting. It can cut up to 6-inch thick wood and up to 150 cuts per charge. It's safe and convenient, includes safety features such as a tool-free chain adjustment. It comes with a 3-year warranty and is ready to use out of the box. The only thing you need to add is the lubricant. For more details, see the link in the description below. Welcome back, everybody. So here we are outside our local pub. I'm sure you recognise this. We've been in here quite a few evenings since we've moved into the cottage. With me are Tom and Ben. So they are here as part of the Great British Pub Ride.
Yeah, that's right.
And they are cycling from Land's End to John O'Groats on, look at this, on the Tandem. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick chat with these guys and find out how this all started, because it's absolutely fascinating. It obviously is to promote the British pub, and because there are so many of them closing down these days, it is just unreal. So let's jump in and ask them a few questions.
Hello, my name's Ben,
My name's Tom.
and together we are
The Thinking Drinkers.
And you've probably heard of us. Anyway, well, we're two of the UK's leading drinks experts.
Yeah, and as award-winning authors and drinks journalists, we've been telling people what to drink, why to drink it, and where to drink it for more than 50 years combined.
And we first met whilst working on a pub newspaper, and we love pubs.
We do. For centuries, these iconic elbow-bending institutions have been the cornerstone of our communities.
The thing is, the pub is in massive trouble, serious trouble. Since 2000, 1 in 4 pubs have closed. And if we don't do something about it, we're going to lose thousands more.
The number of locals are shrinking quicker than a crisp packet in a roaring pub fire, thanks to a crippling combination of rocketing energy bills, a hike in national insurance, reams of red tape, and people dicking around on their phones instead of living their real lives.
Exactly, Tom. So we're embarking on our greatest mission yet.
Yeah, we're going to breathe life back into the beleaguered British boozer.
We are going to place a defibrillator on the hairy nipples of the Great British Pub, the beating heart of our nation.
Yeah, we are going to save the British pub.
And how are we going to do it? Well, we're going to ride from Land's End to John O'Groats, only eating, drinking, sleeping and stopping in Great British boozers.
If we don't use pubs, we'll lose them. So that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
During our ride, we're going to rely on the Great British Pub and the lovely, generous people who run them.
No shops, no restaurants, no coffee chains or cafes, no petrol stations, not even a Greggs.
Greggs?
No.
So no yum-yums?
No yum-yums, Tom. Not even a steak bake.
Ooh, steak and bake. And we don't mean we're going to be boozing our way through them.
Not one drop of alcohol will pass our lips, obviously until we get off the bike at the end of each day.
Yeah, we're going to be tackling up to 100 miles a day, and irresponsible consumption of alcohol is not an option.
No, we're going to prove that pubs are so much more than just somewhere to go and have a drink.
Yeah, they're unique, quirky, historical, versatile and diverse places that provide crucial social respite to the people who live around them.
And we're doing this ride on a tandem. Do a tandem
Yeah.
over 1,000 miles, more than 60 pubs over 2 weeks.
And we've had previous on bikes, so this isn't going to be pretty.
No.
Man, this is really tough.
It is terrifying.
My lungs are on fire. I don't think I can express in words how painful this is.
Our collective backsides are currently whimpering in the corner.
Yeah, but if this ride helps pubs in some small way, then it will all be worth it.
And our journey begins in Cornwall on Friday, June the 20th. So follow us on YouTube
At The Thinking Drinkers,
and Instagram.
at Thinking Drinkers.
Yeah, and join our campaign to reduce business rates for boozers. So anyway, we'll see you down the pub.
Yeah, all right, should
nice
we
one.
do that then?
All right, let's get.
In a ride, we could just walk, it's just over there.
No, that's what you've got to ride everywhere. That's the whole point. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
So guys, how did this all start? I mean, riding from Land's End to John O'Groats on a tandem.
Well, our background is we're sort of known as the Thinking Drinkers, so we're drinks experts. We've written about pubs and drinks and drinking culture all over the world, and we're just huge fans of pubs. And there is so much trouble at the moment, and we just thought, well, what's a good way of showing how versatile and diverse pubs can be, and how we should rely on them, and how important they are. So we thought, well, why not just cycle from Land's End to John O'Groats and show that you could go for 2 weeks purely relying on the hospitality and the friendliness of landlord public pubs.
Yeah.
And so we plotted the route and then found 3 or 4 pubs a day, and then just went for it, and the response has been extraordinary.
Brilliant. That is fantastic. I mean, it must have taken quite a bit of plan in mind.
Yeah, of course. But the other thing was, I think, because we're both cyclists, and we talked about doing it on our own bikes, but there was something about the tandem that just felt like it was going to be a bit more of a challenge and catch the attention of people.
Yes, definitely.
And we've never been on a tandem, so that was a new experience. And we did a bit of training, but then when we came to Land's End, it was really the first time we'd ridden it properly, so it was a bit dicey at first. And yeah, it does take some planning because, but actually, if you think about it, pubs are all over the country, and what we really want to say to people is that 10-minute walk from your house there's probably a pub.
Yep.
So you just need to use them. At the moment, they're facing so many challenges and so many pressures from taxation and business rates, and it's really hard to run a pub. And people think when they pay for a pint that they're getting ripped off in some way, but the pub's not taking any profit out of that. It's taking a very small amount off the actual price of a pint. So it takes planning, but actually, if you were to cycle from one end of the country to the other, you're gonna be able to stop in lots of pubs.
Yeah.
The problem is too many of them are closing down now. And if anyone's watching this, or anyone sees us on YouTube or anywhere, just the message has always been, just go and buy a pint in the pub.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah, just go and buy a pint. I know that when we first moved to the cottage, one of the stipulations was it has to have a pub within walking distance. So you can't get much closer, can you, than living next door to the pub?
Fair play. No, that's
But
it. I mean,
it is strange, and people at my work who live in the city will ask how much is it for a pint in the pub, thinking it's going to be £2.50, and I'm like, well, it isn't. No, they like you said, they don't make that much money. I'd rather pay the price that these guys charge in a pub to keep the pub running, to keep it open, because the pub is it's almost it is the hub of the community. If the pub wasn't here, we wouldn't meet anywhere near as many of the locals when we first moved into the cottage back in October last year. So it's either in the pub or when we're out walking Benji and you meet other people walking the dogs and everything. So the village would be lost without it.
I think so, and that's the same.
I mean, you could if you put a coffee shop there, sure you'd go in and meet them, but and you don't have to have alcohol when you go to the pub. But alcohol does loosen that sort of classic English stiff upper lip.
Yeah.
There is that kind of, you get to know people a bit quicker after a couple of beers because people relax, they become, the chat starts to flow. And I just think that the pub does that in a very regulated environment, and it's a natural environment. And people mingle in a way in a pub in a way that they just don't do in other settings like restaurants or coffee shops. So I just think the essence of a pub, it really does bring the community together when they go in there, especially in places like this where if it wasn't there, people would really suffer from loneliness.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be people here in this village that have nowhere else to go. Just knowing it's here is half the battle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm all for a coffee shop as well, mine, but you're right, you're less likely to start chatting to strangers if you're in a coffee shop. If you're in a pub like this and you've had a pint, or you've just come in for a quick bite for food, you're more likely to integrate and mingle and chat to people.
It's always had a very different emphasis in terms of hospitality. Like Ben said, in terms of a restaurant environment or a coffee shop, you go up, you buy your coffee, you get served, you sit down away from that space. In a restaurant, they seat you and then they go to the kitchen and they come back. In a pub, you come in, you can sit at the bar, you talk to the landlord or the landlady, you're already in a conversation, you're already socialising. It's a much more different dynamic. And also, it's a place where anyone can go. And I think one of the things we've heard a lot from people who run pubs is that we're finding ourselves getting more and more into our little vacuums, the people like us on our social media platforms, where we don't tend to friend people who don't have our politics or our differences in faith and all the rest of it. So what we're creating is online pockets of similarity. And when you go to a pub, you meet people who come from all walks of life, and they have different politics to you, but it's a lot easier to have a conversation with them face to face without losing your temper and actually just saying things irrationally like people do on Twitter or X.
So polarised.
You know, and the society is becoming more polarised. But a pub, if you actually are faced with someone with different politics or a different agenda to you, you do not respond the way you do on social media.
No,
because
absolutely
you're
not.
much more
You're not hiding behind
exactly.
the monitor, the keyboard, are you?
That's
and it's just a far more relaxed environment as well. There's a certain etiquette. You just wouldn't say or do certain things.
And that's critical, I think. I think it's that people need that space. They need to remember it. We've got kids. They've come to meet us here, which has been lovely today because we haven't seen them for a few days. And we want them to grow up in an environment where they understand not everyone thinks the same.
Yeah.
And you have to respect other people's opinions. And I think the pub's always been a place for that.
Absolutely, yeah. That's fantastic. So where are you guys off next?
Good question.
We're heading to Edinburgh
Somewhere.
via.
We're going to Rotho.
We're going to just outside Edinburgh.
Rotho.
Right.
It's on the map.
Yeah.
We're staying right down
Calder.
Yes.
Calder's the next pub.
Yeah.
It's a pub I think that's got a very famous urinal. We've got to pay that a visit. and then we're going to Rotho, and then staying at the Bridge Inn in Rotho, which is supposed to be absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, just
so
outside
because we've stayed. We've not been staying in luxurious pub hotels all the way. We've had a few places that are absolutely lovely, and then we've been kind of not roughing it because they're all nice, but they're just fairly straightforward, basic boozers with rooms, and they're brilliant. And we've been using this website called Stay in a Pub, which is absolutely brilliant. So they've been very supportive of us. And then we've been drinking with Lucky Saint beer.
We have to because we can't drink. So we've been drinking.
Such a shame, isn't it? They're going to all these pubs and they can't drink.
We're only allowed to drink at the end of the night, but we've been drinking Lucky Saint non-alcoholic beers, which are the closest thing you're going to get to an actual beer. So that's given us a feeling of we can enjoy a pint without
and that first pint after you've done a 2.5 hour ride up some hills, when it's cold and on draft, it's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
You appreciate it more as well, don't you? Yeah. If you're wondering what that noise is, everyone, it's Benji. Benji, up.
Oh, hello.
You could probably hear him crying behind the camera. Benji, do you want to go on the tandem? So my next question is, when can I ever go on the tandem?
You can have a go on it now. I'll go there and with you.
Yeah. Let's do this. It's going to go horribly wrong, isn't it? Oh.
Hey, he's done it. Rolling. 3 times.
He doesn't live next door at all.
He's just some guy.
Where's he going?
I shouldn't have went downhill. I should have went up this way.
It's heavy, isn't it?
Right, I'll see you later. Bye. See you at John the Groats.
It's a long old schlep. I think we've got another 35 miles today, so
Is that fairly flat, or is that a bit of?
apparently it's not too bad, but there is one really steep hill, and our legs are a bit knackered.
Yeah.
Because we've just done all around here today.
Oh, that's a lot.
So it's a lot of hills, yeah. So we're a bit apprehensive about that. And then it's up into the Highlands, and I don't really know what to expect there. Because sometimes it will go through, but sometimes it can go up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a lot of cycling, and I'm a cyclist, so I thought I'd be prepared.
No.
This thing is so different to just being on a normal bike. It's so heavy, and you can't get any speed on the downhills really because
It's two of you there.
yeah, and the braking is I mean it's a bit of an old bike, so it's caliper brakes as well.
Right.
We borrowed it off a bloke who I met in the pub, and he said he had one, but also he got it off a guy in Cornwall who used to cycle his blind mate to the pub on it.
How are you on the roads with other? What are drivers like? Drivers in cars and vans and.
Some are good. So we've got these high-vis jackets which say "honk if you love your local," and some people do beep and they're really friendly. Sometimes people don't give you much of a wide berth and do drive a bit quick.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bit of a problem in this country generally, is that the cyclist is seen as a bit of an annoyance on the roads,
that's
when
a
in
shame.
fact actually, you know, the motorists are the ones that are destroying
And
the
quite
planet.
often you've just got to be a bit selfish, because if you go to the side, then they think there's enough room to go in the middle. So to make sure that they don't, you just cycle a bit more in the middle of the actual lane.
Yeah.
And then that really gets people's backs up, because you're only going like 20
Yeah.
miles an hour. But then you just have to wait. Sometimes you've got to go, well, you've got to wait. And then
It's mostly
yeah,
it's been
but
good.
I'd say-
trucks are the worst because they don't realise
Yeah.
how big they are.
How big? Yeah.
Yeah,
It really
it's
does,
Not, it's
yeah.
not an intentional thing with them. It's just a bit.
I thought that was a big
Adam, well, you used to be a truck driver. I hope that wasn't you.
They're the worst.
They're the worst.
And the next question, I'm sure this is on everybody's lips, is sore bottoms riding this thing all that way.
Really sore bottoms. Yeah, I mean it's just not a joke really. We started off making fun of it, but I mean I've had issues there before we even got going. But the sores we've actually managed to establish and cultivate on our bums are insane.
Oh, wow.
It feels like a bruise, and then, well, I'm afraid we looked at them last night because we were getting a bit concerned, and not each other's. We'd looked in a mirror. I would never look at his because, I spend enough time with him to know how unhygienic he is. But it was, they're bad. They're bad.
Do you have any advice for anyone who's perhaps taken up cycling on how to
manage
avoid
that problem?
or manage it? Yeah.
Well, the funny thing was we looked into some of the medical advice, and they said one consideration might be less time on the bike.
Oh dear.
I can't really do that for
helpful.
another week. So we didn't do that, but Sudocrem's about the best, I think. We put a lot of Sudocrem on there.
Good.
Yeah.
Sudocrem to the rescue, eh?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I can say. It gets a bit graphic after that, so we'll just leave it there.
We'll leave it there then.
Right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, nearly stacked it.
We really do wish the guys the best of luck with the remainder of their journey from Land's End to John O'Groats on their Tandem, in a bid to help save the British pub.
Come on then, show us what you got from Bygone Times.
I've got loads of stuff.
I can see that.
Right, random selection.
It really is a random selection.
So I got some stuff for us,
Mm-hmm.
and some stuff for our little.
For our little vintage shop.
Yeah. And then you saw some stuff. Went, oh, I want that. Is that no? That's not for you.
So come on then, what have you got?
So I bought some old vintage scales.
Mm-hmm.
In white, black, and green.
How many sets of scales do you need?
Well, these are all to go down to the shop.
Ah, okay. These are nice. Oh, I like these ones. Maybe we'll just keep these ones.
No, I told you already, we're not having them.
They'll look amazing in the kitchen.
They'll look amazing in someone's kitchen, but not yours, because they're not for you.
You're so mean.
Got a large metal weight.
Mm-hmm. What's that for?
Doorstop.
A doorstop. Ah, that's a good idea. Because when we've got all the doors and windows open in the cottage in the nice weather,
They all slam.
they all slam.
Got a doorstop. Got another doorstop. An old shoe last.
Ah. What a cool idea that is. An old shoe last as a doorstop.
In fact, I got 2 of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Old mixing bowl
Yep.
to mix your salad in.
Oh, that's good. That's like a proper Moore-Brown mixing bowl, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the keys I was looking at.
Set of old keys.
Yep, yep.
Or repo keys.
Uh-huh.
2 lovely old green vintage pendant lights.
Oh, they're cool. Very industrial. Vintage
They're really
industrial.
nice.
Are they for the cottage or are they for
No, they're
Godwin
to be
Vintage?
Godwin Vintage. I'll make those into some nice lights and some nice big statement bulbs.
Yeah, they look nice. Big statement bulbs.
Another bit for Godwin Vintage. Telephone.
You're going to upcycle that into one of your
Into a
retro
lamp.
telephone lamps?
Yep.
Cool. Always on the lookout for retro phones to convert into lamps. What's this? Or a brass, what is it, watering can?
Watering can. I just thought it was quite cool.
Is it just for decoration or are you going to use it as a watering can?
No, I think it's probably just going to be for decoration.
Yeah.
Or it might go down to the shop.
That is quite cool. Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember you looking at this in Bygone Times.
So this is got all the gubbins in, so this would still be used as a proper paraffin lamp.
Yeah. Are you leaving the paraffin parts in it, or are you going to swap them out for an electric light fitting and put a vintage Edison bulb in?
I haven't decided yet. I'll either clean it, or clean it anyway, so it's nice and shiny. See if it does work with the paraffin. I might keep it as for us.
Yeah.
So when we do get power cuts in the winter, we have a light.
Ah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Or I might turn it into a light, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I quite like it for us. But then I know that, I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have your purchase. This. Mr. Briggs.
I like it. I know it's very 70s.
It's very something.
It's nostalgic. My nana and granddad used to have these Clydesdale horses
Well,
on the I can't remember where they had them on the. No, it wasn't the mantelpiece.
no.
The windowsill or something like that. So it takes me back to my childhood.
As your mother would say, that's different.
It is different. Wouldn't life be boring though if we were all the same? Huh?
So that's gonna look absolutely stunning in your office.
It's going to go on the windowsill in the living room.
In your office, yeah. Lovely in your office. So there we go.
Very good. Good stuff. You're right. It is quite a.
Eclectic mix.
Yeah, it really, really is, isn't it? I do like these old scales, mind.
I know, they were amazing find.
Yeah. I might just have to keep those green ones.
You can harp on. Well, if you want to keep them, you can buy them off me from
Buy
the
them
shop.
off you?
Yeah.
I think my time is worth more than enough anyway, isn't it? My time and effort when I'm helping you with the garden and other projects. Anyway, very good.
There we go.
Yep. That'll do for now until the next vintage haul.
That'll be tomorrow then.
Tomorrow, yeah.
And that brings us to the end of yet another video. Thanks for watching, folks, and remember to give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a fantastic week, and the three of us will see you in the next one.